Series to the team.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I think we're doing Chart Talk 96 today, maybe 95, 96. Who's to say? We got us doing the midday ones. I hate doing these midday ones because I love seeing how the market closes, but schedules worked out the way they are this week. So doing a midday, let's jump right into it. So we got a little bit of pullback in the SPY today. I think today's close is very, very important for the intermediate uptrends we're in. We're still definitely in this huge macro uptrend, but now we've seen stocks go on this pretty parabolic run over the past few weeks, and we're starting to see a little pullback. So the S&P right now, it's just breached that first area of support. It could come down another 1 or 2% and touch the bottom of this trend line and be absolutely fine. But we don't know right now. We don't know. Midday, I think today's close is very important. I think the most important chart for the broad market right now is the IWM, the small caps. So they've been pretty range bound all year, and every time they've gone to the bottom end of this range, it coincides with the S&P, hitting the bottom end of this trend line, and it causes us to go on a little bit of a run. So we went on that run the last couple weeks, and now we're seeing the small caps pull back a little bit. So if we hold up in this area, there's a lot of support in this area right here where we're trading. We could hold up here, flag out, and make a move back to highs. That would make me think the market's ready to bounce again. But, with the underlying weakness we're seeing, I'm not so sure right now. I've personally spent the day kind of trimming my winners, taking profit. I'm not looking to buy too many things right now. So, overall, I think today's a very important close for the next 2 weeks or so. But, that's really what I'm seeing out here. I think today's close becomes very important. What are you thinking out there, Ben?
Yeah, especially for how tiny the SPY is down less than 0.5%, but the internal weakness, it seems like it was pretty obvious if you look to a couple names today. But just for how far we came, and again, in the past week, we've seen a lot of sectors. We've seen REITs, hitting new all-time highs, breaking out. We saw it with healthcare, VHT. Again, breaking out to new all-time highs, as well as tech as well. So it's all these sectors have just gone so far, so quickly that almost a little bit of a reset would be fine in the greater scheme of things. So definitely with you on your outlook on the market.
Okay, all right, that makes sense.
All right. So you want to give me some top ideas for the week ahead?
Yeah, I don't really have much I'm trying to buy right now. I was more of in a profit-taking mode. We've seen such a crazy run the last few weeks. The only chart that's really popping out to me that is a nice macro base is this EA Sports.
Mm-hmm.
Sitting within a huge base, trying to flag underneath this 148 level. So I think that looks good. But again, I'm not in a rush to buy breakouts with this, first set of weakness we're seeing. So, I'm more back in sit-back mode after we just went on this run. I'm kind of going to, maybe wait till things come in, maybe wait till things set up a bit more. I don't really like a ton. So, I just took my foot off the gas pedal today, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
So, we'll see. But what do you like out there?
Yeah, I'm definitely in the same kind of raising cash mode. There's a few. So there's this BBY as it's coming into support. Again, this has been a name up through 125 in time. I think looked really good. In this big flag versus almost 95, and as it kind of comes into the middle of this range, looking for a little support buyback after the 11 or 10 days it's been down in a row. To buy versus that low is something I'm keeping a close eye on. Aflac is another one. Again, this major breakout through 58 in time looks great. So just seeing kind of where it can pull in, if it wants to pull into 54 and hold, or if it wants to still come down lower into the 52 area, and look for the main theme is just kind of waiting and looking for some support buybacks. One that's still setting up that looks fine is this SIVB up through 600. It's been flagging since April up here versus kind of this 530 area, which should in time send it to the high 650, 670 area. This looks pretty good. And we'll still keep an eye on lead. Again, we want to keep an eye on that 110, that major level. And if this wants to pull into, again, for now it's holding above 100, but if it wants to come down into the lower 90s and start to base out more, we can find a better support buyback versus having to be perfect buying that breakout. Those are kind of the main things I'm keeping an eye on of these names, pulling into support and just seeing if they're going to hold and look for some of those support buybacks.
Very nice.
All right, so this might be a quick one this week. Any good and bad trades you want to go over?
Yeah, I'll just kind of go through what I did today. So here's the S&P today. So we see us breaking down this, and let me do a 15-minute. So we have the 15-minute chart. Here's today's action. Here's the last week or so. So we see it could be a topping kind of pattern here. So I used today's morning pop. So we opened lower, pop back up, and then we started selling off again. I used that pop back up to begin taking profit in a lot of my names, and I'll just go over them. So this Airbnb is one. You'd see I'm long from this 153 area. My stop is this 150, 150. So do I think this name goes higher? Yes, absolutely. But for my time frame, when I'm up 5-1 risk reward in these trades, it makes sense for me to start trimming these names heavily if I think the market's going to pull back. Either give me another shot, maybe it takes me out of trade. But at the end of the day, for my time frame, where I'm doing where I have these 5-1 profits, I'm gonna take profit into that market weakness. What was the next one? This Bumble. I trimmed some today into the strength this morning. You see it kind of coming back. Long from this 53. We see the gray line here. So that's another one. I just trimmed a little bit. No, I trimmed most of that one honestly. DoorDash. This one looks good still. I trimmed some into the strength yesterday. You can see I had a little fit with the yesterday, but this one still looks good. Still looks higher. Tons of relative strength. Definitely looks like it goes higher. This SE I'm still in. From this 308 area. I've stopped below here. This below is 337. This one wants to keep pulling back. DraftKings, this was a huge winner. This one, I definitely think it goes higher on a weekly chart again, but I'm long from this 5350 area. It's up 20-25% in 2 weeks. That makes sense for me to take some profit if I think the market's coming in. And there's just a bunch of names like that. Apple, I had a good trim on Apple this morning. I got out of that completely. IART, this is another one, long from this 72 area. So taking profit into this morning's strength really saved me a good chunk of change this morning. What else? This U, got out of this U today. I was pretty much buying the breakout here. Again, I think these names go higher, but it doesn't really make sense for my time frame to continue to hold these things and give back all that open P&L if I'm up multiples of my risk on them, and I think the market's going to pull back. So, I just spent the day just taking profit for the most part. I took, I have very little risk on today compared to what I had yesterday because of all the profit I took. So, that was really it for me. It was more of a sell day than any look for new opportunities out there. So we'll see what comes. We'll see what comes the rest of the day. I can't say enough. I think today's close is very important for the next 2 weeks. So we'll see. What do you got going on over there?
So this is two main ones. First one is this ALRM, which was a support buyback that we started kind of end of August. We got a really good buy-in, and then I added up through it. And I just was slowly moving the stops up. So again, originally bought up through 78, added through 82, and moved that stop. Originally was verse 75. As it started to work in my favor, moved up to 78, and I moved it up verse 80. And then with that last ad, bringing my cost basis up, I upped it versus 82. Because at that point, 82 or 80, if it gets 82, it's more likely going to 80 anyways. So I broke even on that second ad. I made money on the 78 buy, and now it's kind of rolling back over, and it's still kind of in this, still a bit of a range, 75 versus 86. So if it wants to roll back over into this 76 area again, I'm going to be much less likely to want to buy it now because it's continuing to roll back over into support, and the more likely it will maybe eventually just break down lower. So I made a little bit of money in that one, and lost a little bit in this Shopify. So again, bought up to 1560 and just left the stop under that 1500 level and got pushed out today. And again, that 1560 was kind of like a little bit of a Mickey Mouse flag, so I wasn't expecting too much. So I lost 2.5% on that one. So those were kind of the two main things. Other than that, still in this MMC I've been in for quite a bit, and just moved the stop up recently to this 154 area, because if this thing does want to roll, it's got on such a run these past few months that I do want to make sure I can squeeze the most out of this name I've been in for the last quarter. So other than that, really not much over here.
All right, cool.
All right, so we got book of the week.
Book of the week. I'm not worried about books right now, Bennett. I'm worried about the market pulling back. Yeah, give us some lessons. Hopefully you can guide us through this one.
You got no book. No, so actually I just finished your book. I think it was from last week or the before, the Tough Jews book. I mean, it's just definitely not my favorite kind of mob book. I think the guy just went too much into the details of like the dates. Like this guy got killed on June 7th at 7:40, and it's like too much of the detail where some of the other books had more of kind of the overlying story that was just a funner read to kind of go through. But that's all I got.
That's all you got. All right, quick one today. All right, well, with that, we'll see how the market closes today. We'll see what we got the rest of the week. Again, today's action becomes very important for the short-term market action over the next couple weeks. Right now, I'm feeling pretty good about taking all that profit off the table. Who knows? By the end of the day, we could recover it all, and it could be a mistake. We don't know that stuff in real time. We can only do the best with the information that we have at hand. So, I'm happy with what I personally did today. Saved a lot of P&L by, trimming winners into the strength this morning. So, we'll see, You got anything else for him, Bennett?
No, that's it. I think you covered it.
All right. We'll catch you guys next week.